Well, I wasn't expecting to do another Black Ops 4 map so quickly, to be honest. But as you're probably well aware of by now, the wheel decides all. I have mixed feelings about Toten. I think overall it's a fine map, but that's mostly because Call of the Dead is a great map. I don't think there are really any additions, right? Like, I'm pretty sure everything that's here is just straight from Call of the Dead. Like, Jason Blundell didn't really feel the need to add his own little twist to this map. I guess we spawn here instead of over there, but I mean, either way, it's through and through like 99% the exact same map. And that's perfectly fine with me. I think that's probably the way that all the remakes should have been from the beginning, with Blood of the Dead. But tonight is the night I go to see Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm really excited because the Guardians of the Galaxy films have been my favorite that Marvel has been putting out in the last couple of years. I'm just such a fan of like kind of the whole 80s space aesthetic that James Gunn likes to go for in his films. And I'm excited to see how he finishes off the trilogy. That's kind of a big deal, getting to see these characters that we've been following for almost 10 years now and seeing kind of the conclusion to their story. But no, I'm excited about that. Besides the map of Toten being, you know, fine or whatever, and I know a lot of people feel the same way. I'm really disappointed about the whole ending of the story. Now, let me be clear. I think in general, the ending is like fine. I mean, how else do you end this story that's been going on for 10 years? I think writing-wise, the entirety of Black Ops 4 is actually pretty great. Design-wise, there definitely is a lot to be desired, but I find it so sad that, like, the first couple of maps didn't perform as well as maybe Activision was hoping, and so they cut this enormous budget that Zombies had in the beginning. Like, this game launched with 4 zombie maps. That is absurd, and that could only be done with money. Zombies wasn't bringing in the numbers like Black Ops 3 was, and so something had to be done about it. That meant cutting the Zombies budget, which means that we no longer get full CG animations, which unfortunately means that this story ends with a 2D card animation, something that a couple of artists probably slammed together in a couple of days in After Effects. And like I say, the story is fine, it's fun, it's cool, just really disappointing, I find. And again, I know the majority of people do agree with me on that, but either way, Jason Blundell, he did what he could with the limited budget that he had. He clearly had a lot to live up to with the ending of Black Ops 3, because a lot of people, even at the time, considered Black Ops 3 to be the best the Treyarch had ever done. And so how do you top that? You know what I mean? Like, it can kind of be compared to the career of filmmaker M. Night Shyamalan. Like, imagine you're a new up-and-coming filmmaker, and the first movie you ever make is The Sixth Sense. How do you continue from that point? Now, don't get me wrong, me personally, I think M. Night Shyamalan did make better films after The Sixth Sense. Like, I love Unbreakable and Signs more than The Sixth Sense, but that film was kind of his masterpiece, right? Like, whoa, first pull? I mean, this is not the greatest version of this gun, but still, first pull, that's sick. Like, think of it this way. Jason Blundell takes over from Jimmy Zielinski. I mean, obviously, he made Mob of the Dead and Origins, 2 very beloved maps, but then he goes and makes the entirety of Black Ops 3. And that game, as far as Zombies is concerned, is basically perfection. How do you go up from there? And so I think it's an interesting topic. I think a lot of people discredit Jason Blundell a little too much, especially because he did make the entirety of Black Ops 3. You can't discredit someone who made Der Eisendrache and Origins and, you know, all of these Black Ops 3 classics. I mean, Origins is Black Ops 2, but you get my point. You know, I've been thinking about this. We know that Jason Blundell moved on to kind of his own studio. I don't know if he was the co-owner or the main owner or what, but I do know that he was basically the lead, or one of the leads of the game that he was creating anyway. Then, in recent news, you just hear about Jason Blundell just kind of up and leaving. And from what I understand, it was very out of the blue. People didn't really see it coming. No one's still really sure why he left. I mean, clearly he's probably going on to do another project, whatever that may be. But he wasn't even really getting started with his first project, Deviation Games. And so there's a lot of theories about, like, is he going back to Treyarch? Did Activision Activision pay him an absurd amount of money? Was that money coming from the Microsoft deal, which is no longer going through? What does that mean for Jason Blundell if that's true? Like, there's a lot of questions that are still kind of up in the air, and of course, it's not really any of our business. I think we need to let Jason Blundell just kind of live his own life. We can't just be creeping on this gentleman's life. But it definitely is interesting from a Zombies fan's point of view, because obviously we all want Jason Blundell to come back. I think the community treated him a bit harshly, and so he just kind of bailed on us. Wouldn't you? If you made something that you were passionate about, and then you invested all this time into something else that you were just as passionate about, and people hated it, like, you'd probably be disheartened and you would probably leave as well. Well, I mean, why wouldn't you? I think people would call you crazy if you did stay with fans who are sending you death threats and stuff. But you know, I hope wherever he is and whatever he's doing next in his career, I really, really hope nothing but the best for him. And I wish the same for Kevin Drew, you know, the guy who's pretty much leading the next of Treyarch's games. At least that seems to be the rumor, is that he's kind of being the lead for the next Treyarch Zombies title. Whether that's Call of Duty Black Ops Gulf War or whatever silly title they want to decide to go with. I know that whatever he's working on, we're all very excited for, because Cold War, ultimately it didn't go the direction that I was hoping that it would go. I was hoping for more original D Machine-like maps, than we ended up just kind of getting a bunch of remakes. But again, I can't be too harsh, because this is the lad who's going to be leading us to victory, hopefully. At least into the victory that is another great couple of Zombies maps. And then I also wonder, if we're talking about zombie developers and where they are now, I wonder what Jimmy Zielinski has been up to. Because I know he was talking a lot about, like, well, sorry, the voice actor who played Frank Woods, I guess, is still in contact with Jimmy Zielinski, and he's talking about the projects he's working on. I think I remember him saying something briefly about him doing another Zombies-like title for whatever studio he's working for now. But these are all, you know, rumors. You never actually know what's going on, what people are doing. It would be absolutely incredible if that were the truth. I would love some more from Jimmy Zielinski. I mean, this is the person who made Ascension and Doris and Moon. I love Moon. And Transit could have been amazing. It was just a matter of time restraints and stuff like that, you know, being slightly overly ambitious. I mean, Die Rise wasn't necessarily a great choice either, I mean, if we're being honest here. But he also made Buried, so like, there obviously is room for improvement and kind of redeeming yourself, if that's the way you want to put it. I remember hearing a rumor that he was briefly working at Ubisoft. If that's true, how incredible would it be if he's actually working with the X-Defiant team and he actually is working on a Zombies build? That'd be incredible. Of course, that's also probably just wishful thinking and me making up ideas in my head, which is highly plausible, of course. But then again, you never know. You never know. I really wish that Jimmy Zielinski would return to Activision and continue building whatever it was that he was trying to get going. In terms of like maps and storyline and whatever it was that he kind of had started with the Victus characters. I know Jason Blundell kind of ended that whole thing with this map specifically. I mean, I'm playing as Misty at the moment. But I don't know. I think it'd be really cool to see Zielinski return. Of course, after everything that they did to Zielinski, just kind of giving him the boot, having Jason Blundell take his job. Clearly, it worked out well for the fans, because we ended up getting maps like Shadows of Evil and Der Eisendrache. I don't know. These are just very interesting conversations and thoughts I like to have. Ultimately, all I can hope for is that the next title from Treyarch has great Zombies maps. Whoever the lead is, whatever decisions they make, I hope it's for the best for the community and not the best for Activision's wallet. I know that's extremely wishful thinking, but I mean, you know, it's possible. It's possible that they could make ultimately great decisions for the fans that result in a better game and not necessarily a way to squeeze more money out of the fans. And again, for the 3rd, 4th, 11th time, I know that's wishful thinking. But hey, it's okay to be wishful. Oh well. I know this is kind of a short one today, but thank you all for hanging out. Thank you all so much for the support as of recently. And with that being said, I'll see you on the next one. Take care.